Good day. This 32nd day, meaningful moments, 365 days. So this morning, I was fixing up a little bit of oatmeal, and I've been cutting back on sugars in general, overall. But I had a taste for something I saw as I opened the cabinet, and that was this. So my daughter had gifted us this Christmas with some of this beautiful honey. And this is something that her and her partner are part of keeping care of some hives and harvesting the honey. And, it's such a precious thing. I know a little bit about the process, and there's a lot involved. If any of you have ever harvested or even had a garden, you know that, the process can be long, but particularly with this, or maple syrup, those kinds of things. Taking it from start to finish is a real process. And I'm so mindful of, a drop of this. And since I was cutting back on my sugars, I took just a tiny little drop out of this jar, opened it, fresh, and it's divine, by the way. When I took that little drop and placed it in my oatmeal, I was very aware when I took the first bite to really pay close attention to how subtle the sweetness was. And perhaps it was because I was paying so much attention to it, or focused in on that way, that I was able to experience like this fullness, really robust flavor, apart that it's wild honey. But it was the sensation of this little golden drop that was so sweet, and it contained so much love in it. And what I mean by that is all the facets that come with this love as a being or entity, not just as an emotion. But I thought about the bees loving us, what they give, their gifts, the hard work that they do, as well as the people that care for those beehives, all the hands that it comes through. And this is very small, just a few of them that are doing that with this particular beehive. But when we think about how we receive, honey from a store or food, for anything nowadays, just the whole supply chain. And I thought about those hands exchanging that energy, but especially, my daughter's hands and, those loved ones around her that take care of it in that way. And so there was love from the care there. And then coming into this moment, and I can think of so many other connections with that love moving and that fullness. And I've talked about this before as far as reciprocity. And then I really held that, like just that gift of all of that had come from this little golden drop and all that sweetness. I came and sat out here, and it's been really heavy clouds these days. We just had a snowstorm, and we haven't seen the sun for a few days, and all of a sudden the sun burst through the clouds, and all of a sudden there were these golden drops that were falling upon me, all around me, around the room. It was just such a blessing. And I thought about how deeply we're so loved. And the sun warming us up in the middle of winter, in the middle of whatever we have going on. There's always something going around us that we can focus in on. And it's developing that ability to have that awareness so we can actually experience those subtle sensations that bring us that sweet moment, the meaningful moment, the sweetness of a golden drop. May you have a sweet day. Blessings.